Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Boxer Boxing. Now, man, one of the greatest trilogy fights in boxing in recent history, man. The all-time greats did it more than once, like Ali and Joe Frazier 3 times. My God, who am I talking about? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, man. They had a trilogy, and that was the final nail in the coffin. By Fury winning in the 11th round by KO, but before this whole third fight happened, there was a lot of controversy, man. Deontay Wilder kept calling Tyson Fury a cheat, and rightfully so. Why do I say that? Well, he was stripped of his titles by fighting Vladimir Klitschko because he was on enhancing drug, that being cocaine. If you didn't know, there's been many fighters who've been stripped of their titles for being on a performance enhancer like cocaine. Understand that David Benavidez, a 168 champion, the former WBC champion, he was stripped of his title because he was on cocaine. Now Canelo got all 4 titles because one of the champions were stripped of his titles because he was on recreational drugs. Now that being said, I keep going on and on about Tyson Fury cheating in his Christian Hammer fight. He tested positive for PEDs as well. Now, shockingly, Tyson Fury admits, John Fury, his father, admits that Tyson Fury was again on performance enhancers, right? Giving him the advantage in the fight. Now, wild stuff, man. This is by ESPN. And if you guys didn't know, man, Tyson Fury fights for ESPN. He fights for ESPN. So this is legit as it gets. His own promotion is telling you this information. So that being said, I'm going to get into the quotes for you guys, man. The title of this article is Tyson had 6-hour of operation in both his elbows after the trilogy win over Deontay Wilder. And then this is John Fury saying this. Now, before the fight happened, John Fury was saying that Tyson Fury had injections in both his elbows to numb the pain, basically. To stop the inflammation in his elbows because he couldn't, quote unquote, throw punches properly. Now, it's wild stuff, man. Apparently, this guy had cortisone in his body, and that basically, it's a steroid, right? I'm gonna have it right here. It's on healthline.com. It says cortisone is a steroid drug. It helps decreases swelling and inflammation in your body. It works by stopping the release of molecules that causes inflammation. This stops your body from having an immune response. So there you guys have it right there. It says it right there. Cortisone is a steroid drug. It helped decrease swelling and inflammation. So you got Deontay Wilder in the first round throwing body shots back to back. And if this Tyson Fury is injured, man, too bad. So sad. Deontay Wilder was throwing power body shots right in the beginning, hitting his elbows and all that stuff. You couldn't tell me this cortisone, this steroid drug, did not help Tyson Fury absorb those shots and block those shots with his flimsy, weak, gypsy elbows. His elbows are weak. Okay? Weak. That being said, Tyson Fury is injecting steroids in certain parts of his body. I'm not even sure if that's even legal. It's wild stuff. It don't sound like it's a steroid drug. You're injecting steroids into you to give you an advantage. And without this drug, Tyson Fury could not perform. He admits it. Now, so there you guys have it, man. This guy admits that John Fury said his son had injections in both his elbows before last month's victory, adding that he had since surgery to relieve the issue. There you guys go, man. I had to read everything for you guys because this article, the guy is throwing all kind of praise on his son, so it's like you have to read in between the lines. But there you guys have it, man. He says it out of his mouth, right? Guys having injections before the fight, giving him a competitive advantage. He needed the injections so he could, quote unquote, perform. Yeah, you had a performance enhancer in you to perform. So this is the kind of stuff that people talk about when talk about Tyson Fury. The guy is a clown. The guy's admitting it, and the reason why he's able to do things like that is because the old media, man, they love this guy. They love Tyson Fury. They want this guy to become the face of boxing because they know the casuals aren't gonna dig in deep and actually watch what this guy's saying. They don't really care about what this guy's saying. They just want a white face. They just want white face as champion, man. This is the biggest fighter since Rocky Marciano, Tyson Fury, and it seems like he can become undisputed. If he fights Alexander Usyk, there's no doubt in my mind that he would probably beat Alexander Usyk. Not because he's a better fighter, but he's just too damn big. Fucking guy's like 6'9" and 300 pounds. The guy's too fucking big, man. And I don't know what Anthony Joshua was doing, but every time he hurt Alexander Usyk, he just looked at the guy. He couldn't catch up to the guy. The guy, Alexander Usyk, was moving around the ring. So, that was it. I mean, I don't know how Anthony Joshua didn't see that coming. So all that being said, man, Tyson Fury got exposed for cheating. I'll have a link in the description, but it's wild stuff, man. It's just wild stuff that John Fury, Tyson Fury's father, ESPN, they're just telling you, hey man, this guy, he had elbow injections. He just had elbow injections. It's all good, man. Hey, don't worry about it. Before the fight, he had elbow injections. He had a steroid injected into both his elbows because he couldn't throw punches. Yeah. And people wonder why people don't like Tyson Fury. This is the reason why people don't like Tyson Fury, man. The guy's a fraud. He promotes himself as a drug addict, and he's so low, and he overcame. How do you overcome when you start doing drugs, man? You can't overcome anything when you put yourself in that position. That's your fault. That's like me stabbing myself and saying, oh, I survived myself. I survived me hurting myself. That's exactly what Tyson Fury is doing to himself, and I don't see the relatability on self-harm and feeling sad for somebody who keeps doing it. Tyson Fury, it wasn't like he did it one time and he did drugs and he got addicted to it. That's not what happened. This guy is just a suicidal drug fiend, who keeps doing it. Every day he talks about he wants to hurt himself. He wants to off himself. He wants to start doing more drugs. I mean, come on, man. This is something that he needs to get a therapist over. He needs to get some drug counseling. I don't think I ever heard Tyson Fury talk about how he checked himself into a clinic. I heard about Oscar De La Hoya checking himself into a clinic before. Tyson Fury, not so much. He just keeps talking about it as if it's a publicity stunt, which he admitted at one point it was. So, this is my stance on Tyson Fury, man. Never liked the guy. I think he's a disgrace to the sport of boxing, man. The old people who hold him up, the old media, outrageous, man. The guy is telling you he took performance-enhancing drugs because he couldn't perform. And what do Tyson Fury fans do? They say, get over it. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. But anyway, man, I'll link the article in the description, man. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. GeoBasket Empire. Peace. GeoBasket.